We very recently, just last week, went over every single Starfield weapon that has been revealed, and you guys seem to enjoy that video, so today I thought that we could do something of the same vibe and go over every single animal, beast or creature that we've seen so far, and I believe that I found a couple that you may have missed, so sit back, relax, drop the video a like for me, consider subscribing if you're new around here, and let's not waste any more time and just get straight to it. Right at the very start of the showcase we can see this weird turtle-like animal, I guess, crawling around on the floor here. Unfortunately we never see its name, but these are clearly passive as they don't attack the player during this short scene. We can see that they have some kind of shell, if you will, but that is unfortunately all we know about this unknown shelled creature. We next of course see the Creature Stalker. Judging by the name, I would assume that these creatures are only found here on the moon Crete. I think that the Creature Stalkers are likely aggressive, but the player somehow managed to threaten this particular creature with the Eon pistol here, making it back away. We can see that the Creature Stalkers very likely travel in packs, judging from this clip here, and we also see that the Creature Stalker is only level 1, so I do wonder if we will see more higher leveled ones if we travel far into the Crete moon. And lastly, for the creatures on Crete, we can see when the player picks up the Equinox laser rifle that we can spot a board of an experimental cloned monster, which we actually get some footage of in the showcase. Right here you can see this absolute beast coming in for attack, possibly on Crete itself. Judging from the board, we know that this creature is a clone of something, and clearly an experiment, probably being done by the workers who originally worked in the lab before the Crimson Fleet took over. And next in this very annoyingly short clip here, which was a pain to edit down, a four-legged creature on some greyish planet. It appears to have lobster hands attached to its head or something, which seems to be the way it attacks, but besides that we unfortunately don't know much else. Next up we get this scene, which I think is the coolest creature shown in this showcase, this dinosaur-like giant armoured beast. It appears to have red glowing eyes and an armoured shell over its skin, or maybe that is just its skin, who knows. But if we take a look at the surroundings we can see a very beachy vibe with all of the palm trees and the bright blue sky, so this beast could be located in the same spot we see our character walking in later. Either way, this thing is a monster and I kinda hope it's not passive so I can fight it. I have to imagine this is in the higher leveled part of the 100 solar systems. Now number 6 is just a little bit of speculation on my part, but when we take a look at the skills and the perks of Starfield we can see a number of animals on the skill symbols, like this snake, this gorilla, and of course this octopus, making me wonder if we will see snakes, gorillas and maybe even octopuses in the game, or at least alien creatures that are inspired by them, because why else would they be in the skill tree? Now of course that is just speculation on my part, but it is nice to imagine. Moving on, we next see the diseased siren, and you can clearly see multiple of them in this very short clip. This does make me wonder if we attack one of these, judging by the word siren in the name, if they will let off some kind of siren or warning sound, which calls other sirens to come and give the one you attacked some backup, as they are fighting in a group here. Now we can see that most of them are only level 12, meaning that we likely fight or at least see some of them fairly early on. I also believe that these creatures will just be called sirens because they are likely just different versions of them, like the diseased siren, much like how Fallout 4 had Deathclaws or glowing Deathclaws or alpha Deathclaws, if that makes sense. And to back this up, we can see a level 18 siren here, just with the name Siren. We next see the floaters obviously being attacked by Mr. No Aim himself, but I do think that the floaters are the most unique out of all of the creatures that we've seen so far, with these weird fishbowl-like heads. Again, like the siren, it appears that these creatures will have different breeds, if you will, or at least different versions, with this one being called a Metropus floater and the other one being called a diseased Metropus floater. We next see a spider-like creature, which we could briefly see is called the Angular Hexapod, assuming I'm saying that correctly, on this very dusty themed planet, possibly the same planet that we can see our character walking on here. This creature is only level 14, and I just want to say that I love that enemy names now appear above their heads. Anyway, this creature looks disgusting, but I'm very excited to fight it. Again, moving on, we see these strange creatures lying down here, possibly indicating that it is in fact passive, but it also has some strange holes on its head and back. This is maybe how the creature breathes, but unfortunately we can't be sure of that, so we will have to wait until the game releases and I make lore videos to see if that's the case. We can see another one lying down right next to it in this massively dense forest, which I'm very excited to explore. There are actually two here which I will quickly go over. Obviously the three giant dinosaur looking beasts, which are likely passive as they aren't attacking the player in this scene, nor do they seem to care that you've basically landed your ship in the middle of their home. However, looking up we can also see birds flying around. These are likely passive too, since again they aren't attacking, but unfortunately we never got to see the names of either one of these creatures. Now in this very short clip here, if you look closely you can see another massive creature when you're comparing it to the trees that is big, right here walking around. Whether this is a creature we've already seen or a new one is very difficult to tell, but either way I thought that I would point it out. And again in this very short shot here, which I think looks like the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser, we can see 4 more creatures. A dinosaur one looking here, a monster one here, and yet another dinosaur looking one right here. I do wonder if these creatures are actually passive towards each other, or if we will often see them fight. And lastly again, very short clip, but looking over the side here, we can see a group of these bug-like creatures wandering around together in this forest-like planet. Again, we don't know their names or what they are. And that is it. That is every creature that I can see in the showcase at any rate. I think that this just proves that we have still barely seen anything from Starfield, despite Bethesda showing Starfield off more than any of their previous games. Either way, I am very excited to dive into the lore of every single one of these animals, beasts and creatures once the game finally releases. So I hope that you guys will stay tuned for that. But let me know in the comments what your favourite creature or animal was that we saw. Drop the video a like for me. And of course, if you are new around here and you aren't subscribed and you're looking for a place to stay up to date on Starfield news, leaks, discussion, speculation and so much other Bethesda focused content, do consider subscribing because I cover it all over here. But with that said, I thank you all so much for watching and I really hope to see you in the next one.